Okay, so we're going to look at how to do some problems online today. So you notice that we have our directions up here. Make sure you read those first. How to go to the website and do that. Go to MA7 then Chapter 2. Now I'm going to actually start doing this as we're talking. As soon as we get to the website, click on the website and click on New Problem at the bottom. So click that. And the problem that comes up, we want to keep clicking until we get a problem that doesn't have, see how there's two X's on both sides? We can't have that. We need an X on only one side. The reason is we just haven't learned how to do it yet. So there's our first one. And good, I'm glad it has some negatives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this problem down. Negative 2x plus 4 equals 2. Now first of all, you see the problem there. And what we're going to do is we're going to write it down right here. Negative 2x plus 4 equals 2. Now we're going to want to copy down the work every step of the way until we get to the answer. So as the directions say, we're on direction number 6. Start by putting the correct starting blocks on, then click continue. So I want to make sure we have the starting blocks correctly. Let's see if I can get this switch to 7. And we'll go back to the site. So we need negative 2x's. So that's these little balloon ones. They pull it up because it's negative, right? Positives like weigh it down. Then we need plus 4. So those are 4 blocks. 4 equals 2 blocks on the other side. And there, it's balanced. Now once it's balanced, we hit continue. Okay? Now it comes up and it wants some work for us. And we notice that too in our sheet. It says then follow step by step what's needed to undo the operations. And we want to record each step in the answer. So whatever we, sorry about that, I accidentally paused it somehow. So whatever we do on the in the box over here is what we want to do on the page. Okay, we want to record everything. So first of all, we want to get rid of, see how we have plus 4? Remember, our first step is to get rid of adding and subtracting. So how do we get rid of plussing? We minus. What are we going to minus from each side? Well, look over here. We have 4 blocks, and we want to get rid of those 4. So let's say we're going to subtract 4. Hit go, and they disappear. Okay? Now, it gives us something on the other side. You notice what's left is now it's like we put 2 balloons on the other side. So let's show that step in our work, though. What we did is we subtracted 4 from both sides. Now these 4's cancel. In fact, if you notice back in the page, it'll actually tell you what our answer is. We have negative 2x and negative 2. Now how does that make sense? Well, go back here. Why does that make sense? Well, our 4's canceled, so see all that's left is this negative 2x. We just brought that down. And then we have 2 minus 4. So like $2, you take away $4, we're at negative 2. Careful with your negatives, right? Well, what's our next step? Let's go back over here. Next step is we can't just get rid of an x because we don't have any x's to get rid of on the other side, do we? So what if we instead divide both sides? Now what are we going to divide by? Well, we want it to be a 2 because there's 2 balloons, but specifically negative 2. So see how that way we get rid of half of the balloons on the left. Now if we get half the balloons on the left, we're also getting rid of half the balloons on the right. And you notice what's left? X equals 1. So if we divide by, oops, I need to show you, but it's hard to do this. We need to divide both sides by a negative 2, is what we did. Now if you do it on the first side, the 2's cancel, and look what we're left with. X equals 1, which is the same thing as our answers. By the way, there's more than one way to get there. You can take the long way around too. Now you should have that first problem copied down. Make sure you get that copied down as we're going through it. Okay? Now I'll tell you what I'll do is I'm not going to cut right down the second one, but I'll go through it with you on the actual website so you can at least see what it looks like. So again, we'll kind of reiterate. We found our answer. Oops, didn't want to go down like that. There we go. We're going to hit new problem until we get one that looks right. There. Remember, we can't, oh, I'm sorry. Not there. We can't have x's on both sides. We only need one set of x's. So, let's see, right there. We have negative 4x. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus 5 regular blocks. Notice they're positives. So we just put regular 5 blocks in. Equals 1. And there they balance. They should balance. Hit continue. And what are we going to do first? Well, we have a plus 5 there. We're going to get rid of the plusing first. The opposite of adding 5 is to subtract 5. So we hit the minus, hit the 5. And there it kind of puts some stuff on the other side for us, which is fine. You can kind of watch what it's doing, kind of neat. Next, we want it to divide by negative 4. Now why negative 4? Because that's the number in front of the x. It's being times by x. Right? So negative 4 times x. Opposite times is to divide. And hit go. And hit go. There we go. And there we get it. Right? We get again x is 1. And x is not always going to be 1, by the way. It just happened to work that way. So then copy that one down. We'll do one more. Not that one. We're looking for one that only has one set of x's. Okay, here's a good one. Let's try a new one. There we go. This one will work out nicer. That last one, I think it was, oops, daisies. That's not what I wanted. 2x blocks plus 2. And these are all positives. Equals 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this can count for one of your problems on your worksheet, by the way. So what do we want to do? Well, we want to start by hitting continue. And then we want to get rid of the adding 2. Opposite of adding is to subtract. We're going to subtract 2. If you notice, 2 blocks disappear from both sides. Kind of like the balloons, but a little bit different. Now we have 2x blocks over here and 6 over here. Well, we can't just find out what that is, because if you try and take an x blocks away, that's not going to work. We don't have any x blocks to take away over here. Remember, we have to keep it even, matching. Instead, what could we do? What if we divide by 2? We cut the number of x blocks in half. We have 2 here, we have 6 here. We can do that. We can cut both sides in half, don't we? So there we go. Now remember, you need to follow those steps. You need to show on your sheet -2 for both sides. Then you need to show divide by 2 for both sides. Then you need to put as your answer x equals 3. Okay? Good. Try those. Go ahead and do those. You have plenty of papers or spots to put them in. You have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So 12 is plenty. We just did 3 in about 7 minutes or so. So you should have enough time. That's about 2 minutes per problem. That means it'll take you about a half an hour counting time to boot up. Now it may take you a little bit longer because you're doing it yourself, but still that should give you plenty of time. Do your best with that and look forward to seeing how you guys do with that. And once you get done, there's a link on my website under Chapter 2. In fact, let's even go to it. Oops, not what I wanted. Now I'm going to show you something. The link that you want is under Chapter 2, and that's the place that I want you to be at. But if you decide to go to, it's just taking too long. If you decide to go to Resources and Links, there's some nice games there too for you. So you can stay on one of those, but it has to be on my website, and Substitute has explicit directions on that. Well, good. Hopefully that helps you a bit. We look forward to seeing you guys later. Have a good weekend.